There's something strange about the world we live in. Two people, same intelligence, same effort, sometimes even the same job. But 10 years later, one of them is financially free. The other is still trying to catch up. And deep down you already know this isn't just about working harder. Because if hard work was enough, millions of people wouldn't be stuck. So what's really going on? Why do the rich keep getting richer, while everyone else struggles to keep up? This isn't a motivation video. And it's not about blaming the system. This is about understanding the game you're already playing, whether you realize it or not. We grow up believing a simple idea. Work hard leads to earn money, leads to build a better life. It sounds logical. It sounds fair. But reality doesn't behave like that. Because the world isn't designed around effort. It's designed around leverage. Two people can work equally hard. But if one of them has leverage and the other doesn't, their outcomes won't even be close. And this is where most people get stuck. They optimize effort instead of understanding the system. There's a reason this belief is so powerful. In school, effort is rewarded. Study more leads to get better grades. Follow the rules leads to get ahead. It creates a mental model. Effort equals results. But the real world isn't structured like school. There are no fixed rules, no guaranteed rewards, and more importantly, the system doesn't measure effort, it measures impact. That's why someone can work 12 hours a day and still struggle financially, while someone else makes one decision and earns more in a month than most people do in a year. When people hear the word capital, they usually think of money, but money is just the surface. Capital is actually a combination of financial resources, knowledge, network, access to opportunities, and most importantly, control. Two people earning the same salary can live completely different lives because one of them knows how to turn income into capital, and the other doesn't. Let's take a simple example. Two friends earn the same salary. One spends most of it on lifestyle upgrades. Better phone, better car, better apartment. The other spends differently. They invest. They learn. They take small risks. 5 years later, the difference isn't small anymore. One is still dependent on their job. The other has options, not because they worked harder, but because they used their money differently. To understand why this system exists, we need to zoom out. Centuries ago, power came from land. If you owned land, you controlled production and survival. Then came the Industrial Revolution. Power shifted from land to machines. Factories replaced farms, and those who owned production controlled wealth. During the Industrial Revolution, something critical happened. Workers were paid wages, owners kept the profit. This was one of the first large-scale separations between labor and ownership. And that gap never really disappeared. It just evolved. Today we live in a different era. Power is digital, data, technology, platforms. But the pattern didn't change. Those who control the system continue to win. When central banks print money, it doesn't reach everyone at the same time. It goes to the banks and the big corporations first. By the time that money reaches your pocket through wages, inflation has already driven up the prices of assets. The rich buy the assets with cheap money. You buy bread with expensive money. This isn't a glitch. It's how the plumbing of the global economy works. This is known as the Cantillon effect. There are two types of people in the system. 1. Those who trade time for money. 2. Those who use capital to generate more capital. The first group works, the second group owns, and ownership changes everything. Because when you rely only on your time, there's a hard limit. This is where things get interesting. Income from a job grows linearly. You work more leads till you earn more. But capital grows differently. It compounds. Money generates more money. And that money generates even more. Over time, the gap becomes massive. Not immediately, but gradually, and then suddenly. Now here's where things get uncomfortable. Because not everyone starts from the same position. Some people grow up with financial education, strong networks, access to better opportunities. Others don't. Your environment shapes your decisions more than you think. If everyone around you values stability, you'll avoid risk. If everyone around you builds businesses, you'll see opportunities. This isn't about talent. It's about exposure. And exposure changes everything. If you just work hard enough, you'll make it. It sounds motivating, but it's incomplete, because effort without direction is just exhaustion. Modern hustle culture makes this worse. It glorifies being busy, but being busy is not the same as making progress. You can spend years working harder, without ever building something that lasts. If there's one concept that explains everything, it's leverage. Leverage means using something other than your time. There are different types. Code arrow scales infinitely. Media reaches millions. Capital right arrow multiplies itself. People expands output. The most successful individuals don't rely on effort alone. They combine effort with leverage. These are just examples. In the past, leverage required people or capital. You needed a loan or an army of workers. Today, you have permissionless leverage. Welcome to the digital age. You build a system once and it scales while you sleep. You build a tool once and it serves thousands while you remain offline. You record a video once and it educates millions. Whether it's a digital product, an automated business, or a piece of media, you are no longer trading your hours for dollars. You are trading your ingenuity for exponential growth. This is the ultimate rich-get-richer tool of the 21st century. The ability to decouple your time from your output. A person working a job earns based on time. A person building systems earns based on scale. That's the difference. Here's the key insight. The system is designed in a way that those who already have capital can acquire more capital faster. More money leads to more opportunities. More opportunities leads to more growth. It's a feedback loop, and over time, it becomes very hard to catch up. Understanding the system doesn't magically change your life, but ignoring it guarantees nothing will change. You don't need to escape the system, but you do need to change how you operate within it. Start asking, can this scale? Does this depend only on my time? Am I building or just working? These questions change your direction. The system isn't fair, but it is predictable, and once you understand it, you have a choice. Keep playing the same way, or start playing differently, because in the end, it's not just about how hard you work, it's about whether you understand the game at all.